Hey, what's up? It's Tech, it's Geek vs Nerd. We have plenty to talk about today. So, first, roll it. Hey, I bet you guys are good. Your week was good and all that good stuff. I got to watch a couple of stuff. I know this is a week apart, so yeah, there is stuff, like I said earlier, to watch. We post trailers on our channel, GVNNaija, Instagram. Feel free to check that out. And if you're watching this on YouTube too, hope you subscribe and also click the bell. Yes, the bell, so that you get notified whenever a new video comes out. So when you click the bell, then you know immediately, and you know you're helping us. And yeah, don't forget to comment also. Your suggestions are always taken and we appreciate them. So moving on, last week Friday to be precise, I watched Monster. Monster stars Kelvin Harrison Jr. He plays a character named Steve Harmon. So the story surrounds him. It surrounds his life and this particular court case surrounding his life. Now, I know for those of you that have seen the trailer, this is not a spoiler because I mean nothing I'll discuss is going to be a spoiler. I'm just going to give you my 2 cents on it. You know what I thought about it and all that. Anthony Mandler, the director, he did an amazing job. Really, I like the way the story progressed. There are certain nuances about it that you might miss, right? And all of this I'm saying is not from the movie itself, it's still from the trailer. But if you notice, if you watch the trailer again, you will see that, okay, this family seems like a well-to-do family, you know. It's not the normal stereotype that we see of black families where the dad is mostly absent, the mom might be a crackhead, or maybe she's trying her best, or she works at some store somewhere or something. No, this seems like a normal, middle-class black American family. So there is that, it's established, right? And then one funny thing I noticed in the movie was, so this is a normal middle-class family, right? Yes, there's the jury and all of that. And I mean, let's not kid ourselves. By virtue of the fact that the character, Steve Harmon, already has this shade of skin color, he is guilty till proven innocent. It's not the other way around. So he had that already, right? And then we now see, I mean, I noticed it. I don't know if the director deliberately chose this, which I think he did, but this is a middle-class family, a middle-class black family. And the lawyer they chose to represent their son is a white lady. I mean, call me, maybe I'm reading too much meaning into it, but I think they know the kind of system that they are about to fight against for the life of their son. So I think they realized, actually picking a white lawyer, of course, the person has to be good, right? But they're also good black lawyers. But I think picking a white lawyer as the character, the lawyer defending him, I think it has a lot of meaning. And you'll see how it plays out in the movie. It was really played out well. See, it's at some point, the movie becomes a tearjerker because, like I said, it surrounds the story of our character, Steve Harmon, right? The monster story. And funny enough, he's like my king. He's an aspiring filmmaker. So dude tells the story. Sometimes he tells the story like you're reading it from a screenplay, right? You say afternoon. Okay, like right now I'm shooting, right? So you say afternoon, indoors, day. You know, he has set the mood already for the particular scene. You know, sometimes you see flashbacks and all that. See, at the end of the day, Monster is a solid movie. It's one that I would recommend. And while I know for a fact that at this point, maybe some of us are tired of watching movies like Monster that just shows that if you are black, the world is against you. I think it's a story that needs to be told. So movies, for me, most times I see movies as a way to get away, you know, to escape the reality, especially if the reality now turns out to suck. So if it sucks, you know, you want a movie that just puts the smile on your face and makes you forget, right? But there are times when I think these stories need to be told. I just think a healthy balance is needed. I mean, most times I don't read the news, but I don't watch it or I don't go online to see what's up. But I know, you understand? So you know that the world is just the way it is. Sometimes you need to be reminded, but at the same time, yeah, there are times when you need to get away. So I think a healthy balance is good. So yeah, Monster, what do I think? I think it gets a solid 8.5 from me. It's a solid movie, and for the most part, it hits the nail on the head. Yeah, like I said, I mean, it could get your eyeballs sweaty at some point. So if that happens, expect it, because the story was well told, especially because it came from the point of view of this minor, you know, Steve Harmon, the kid. everybody that got to play a role in the movie, from A$AP Rocky to my girl J Hudson, everybody, I think Jeffrey Wright, his dad, Nas was in the movie too. Everybody that got to play a role in this movie had one thing or the other to add to it. It did not feel like it was pandering to the fact that blacks tend to be oppressed, right? It showed that reality in a lucid format, and it was a good watch for me. I did not ask myself, I need the last 1 hour 30 minutes of my life back. I've watched this and blah blah blah. No, it was good. I enjoyed it and I recommend it to you guys. I'm moving on. Speaking of something I felt like I wasted my time and my life, Jupiter's Legacy. It sucked. Okay, well, maybe just coming out trying to say it sucked might seem a bit too harsh, right? But what I'll say is, there's a reason why I stopped watching the CW shows, and I'm talking about Arrow, The Flash, Guardians of Tomorrow, and so many other ones, right? If you're going to tell a super story movie, or a super story in any way, whether it's a series or a feature film, superheroes come with some set of powers that look, they are more than the natural, right? So if you guys are going to tell us that story, I think it would behoove you to actually make the CGI very believable, the computer-generated imagery. And it sucked. In this series, it looks like, and why did I mention the CW? Because with the exception of 1 or 2 instances, most of the effects looked lackluster. And coming from Netflix that has given us a couple of other shows and movies where they actually paid proper attention to the CGI, this time around they didn't. It wasn't believable for me. See, there are parts of the series that elevate it, right? So I would not say absolutely skip it. But what I'll tell you is this: if the first episode does not do it for you, just skip, move on, because it's not worth it. It's like, okay, there are series that I've watched that I'll be like, even at the end of the series, the season finale, it set it up very well for the next season. Even the season finale of Jupiter's Legacy, it just felt forced. The story could have been rounded up in the first season, and then you can tell a new story in season 2 if there's going to be a season 2. Honestly, I'll be surprised if Netflix renews it, because it wasn't worth it. The story at some point also was all over the place, right? The CGI was lackluster. It wasn't worth it for me. So honestly, it's not one I'll recommend. If I'm going to give it a score, honestly, I'll say 3/10, and I think I'm being generous with the 3 because it's really, it wasn't worth it. Oh yeah, and speaking of stuff that are worth it, MCU, Marvel, they decided to show us a slew of their offerings for the remaining 2 years. At least I think I saw stuff up till 2023. We have Shang-Chi with the trailer that got released. We have the next Spider-Man movie coming out. We have a Doctor Strange movie coming out. We have Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. There's a movie coming out. Now, here's the thing, of course, Chadwick Boseman is dead, right? And I really enjoyed from when he played the movie, I think 21, when I first saw him. I think that was where I first saw him. I did not even know him. I did not even know who he was, but I enjoyed the character he played. I enjoyed how he played it. I think the Jackie Robinson character. I enjoyed all of those things about him, right? So I know for a fact that Chadwick Boseman being dead sucks. Like, it really does. And, knowing that he had cancer throughout the time he was giving us all of that, and, just making himself someone who we will probably never forget for years to come, it's something that just transcends a lot of words. But at the same time, here's why I believe the Black Panther character shouldn't just be replaced. Like, many people are speculating that Shuri will be the next Black Panther. I think it's too soon for that, especially in the Black Panther cycle. See, if we have a new Iron Man in maybe the next 3-4 movies, I could understand that. It started with Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man, and then he moved all the way to the end, and it felt earned. Captain America, it felt earned to close their arc like that. T'Challa's story is not done. It looks like he could even be the leader of the next set of Avengers, because he has the tech like Iron Man does. He has that nobility and the leadership quality like Captain America does. So I don't think T'Challa's story should be shoved aside. It might sound harsh. It might sound like I'm being rather inconsiderate, but I think recasting the role for T'Challa, I know heavy is the head that wears the crown. So whoever is going to get it will have a lot of scrutiny on them. I understand that. But honestly, I think the role should be recasted to someone else. Shuri should not be Black Panther yet. Some people also say maybe Umbaku. No, I think the T'Challa character should just be recasted. It does not mean it's an insult to Chadwick Boseman. I think it's just a way to continue the legacy, to be honest. I mean, that's what I think. If you have a different opinion, please sound off in the comment section. I mean, we love to conversate and all that good stuff. So, moving on. Now, the cinemas are opening, they are reopening. You know, even here in Naija, you see 1 or 2 movies pop up in the cinemas. In the US, with over 200 million doses out there already, their cinemas are, most of them are opening. So a lot of the trailers that you see now for movies, A Quiet Place 2 coming out later this month, Fast and Furious coming out, Venom Part 2 coming out. We got to see Carnage in that one. I am looking forward to it. I mean, it's still all the way in September. Funny enough, 2 Marvel movies in September, even though one is from Sony, one is from the MCU. But you know, Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings is also coming out in September. So there are movies coming out in September, which is, I mean, there are movies coming out in the cinemas, which is good. But at the same time, I have enjoyed being able to stream stuff as they come out straight from home, because truth be told, I don't know if it's only me, but sometimes I feel when I go to the cinema, the screen is not bright enough. Yes, it's big. Yes, there's the sound, but it's not bright enough. And I like it when I watch it at home, maybe on the TV screen or maybe in front of my monitor, my big screen monitor. I prefer watching it from home. Like, okay, for example, a movie that just got released today in the cinemas and also on HBO Max, Those Who Wish Me Dead. Now, Those Who Wish You Dead just got released, and I've watched it, and I can give you my 2 cents on it without having to go to the cinema. So yeah. Speaking of movies in the cinema, I think Wrath of Man got released last week. It's in cinemas. We get to see Jason Statham kick butts and take names. You know, the original Bitter of Saints. Yes, he's back. He's directed by Guy Ritchie, and it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. I'll see it this weekend, so I'll be able to give you guys my 2 cents on it in the next episode. But yeah, I'm back to Those Who Wish Me Dead. Now, it started my girl, Angelina Jolie. Yes, she's back. And then we got to see, I mean, of course, Littlefinger has always been a bad guy. So we got to see him there. But you know, it's interesting when the guys that look like good guys, or that are used to playing good guys in a movie, like Nicholas Hoult that played Beast in the X-Men movies and a couple of other movies. You know, he's usually the good guy. In this movie, he's a bad guy. He's one of the antagonists. And the story follows this woman who is a fire officer. You know, they watch out for fires and all of that. All of this is, I'm telling you, are spoiler free, of course. It's all in the trailer, right? And the story follows her life. And then the life of this little kid, Finn Little, that's his name. The actor that played it, Finn Little, he did a great job. Now, of course, I wasn't there on set, so I don't know how many times they had to retake his scenes, right? But the parts where he had to show pain and emotions and sadness and fear, and even maybe the little bit of the joy, you know, he played the role well, especially for a kid. And it's a really nice watch. I really enjoyed it. I mean, I have a little gripe with it at the end of the movie though, but minus that, everybody played their roles well. The movie came out well. I liked it. I'll recommend it. It gets a 7/10 from me. It's a really nice movie. Oh yeah, and of course, Tyler Perry was in it too. See, I mean, Tyler Perry, we are used to seeing him in the Madea movies and anything he directs, but I think he's a good actor. And yeah, even though it was just for a scene, he got to play a role here, and I also enjoyed it. I liked it. So yeah. It's one that I would recommend. I think you guys will also enjoy it. Moving on, Castlevania Season 4. It's the final season. You know, funny enough, before watching this, when I saw Season 4, in the initial trailer I saw, I remember seeing it, I was like, oh my God, I want to see this, And when I saw it, they did not say anything like final season, they just said Season 4. And before watching it, I saw that Netflix had cancelled it. I was like, Netflix again, why? Why would you guys cancel this thing? It's too good to be cancelled. But then, after watching it, I realized maybe the news outlet just got it wrong, that it wasn't cancelled. Maybe it was just the end, the final season. Because when you watch it, you realize why, yes, there shouldn't be a 5th season. This is actually a proper end to the series, to the animation. So yeah, we don't want any more. I mean, really, unless there's a spin-off following another person's story, but it's ended solidly. So I don't know what came before which. You know, when they say the chicken or the egg, which one came before the other, right? So I don't know what came before which. Maybe they said this is the final season, and then yeah, it's cancelled in quotes, or it's been cancelled, but they got to wrap up the story properly. But either way, it was wrapped up properly. It was nice. I mean, we got to see. So you know, they got together in season 1 at the end, right? That is Trevor, Cypher, and Alucard, right? So Trevor, Cypher, and Alucard got together in season 1. After that, they had their fight and they came together. Season 2, they got to fight Dracula and they won. Season 3, you know how the story went for Alucard, and honestly, I was scared for Dude. I was like, I hope Dude doesn't go bad, because I mean, what he had to go through, for those of you that have watched it, you know, having to kill those twins and all that, and then putting them on a pike like his dad, he was like, well, I guess that will keep people out, right? Nobody will mess with me again. So I'm glad with the way his arc also went in this, because, you know, coming into this, we had like, what, 4 or 5 factions. So we had Trevor and Cypher on one side, we had Alucard's story on another side, we had Camilla, Lenore, and our other sisters having Hector as their pets to create nice creatures for them. We had Isaac that just killed that mage and also had his own agenda. And then we had the faction that was trying to bring Dracula back to life. So 5 different people coming head to head in this, and they did an amazing job. The animations, the fights, the story, bliss. It was done really well. I really enjoyed it. It's one that I would recommend to you guys definitely. And one other thing about Castlevania is the voice acting. I mean, the dope voice acting as usual. Like, yo, whew. These guys, they've done an amazing job, from Trevor's character to Cypher to Alucard. And oh yeah, one funny thing about Castlevania is the funniest parts for me were not from Trevor, the usual jester, the one that will make people laugh. I mean, I know there are some parts that where Trevor made you laugh, but honestly, the part that made me laugh out loud, I was just almost rolling on the floor, were from Alucard. It had to do with Trevor, so that's the funny part. You have to watch it to understand. But overall, the gang, the 3 musketeers back together, they are fighting, the entire sequence, like everything was just, honestly, everything was just so good. I really enjoyed it, and yes, I will definitely, without a doubt in my mind, if I'm going to score it, man, not to sound like a fanboy, but man, it gets a 10 for me. I don't have any qualms with Castlevania, really. They did really well. One day, sometime in the future, maybe a couple of months from now, I know I'm going to rewatch everything from season 1. It is that good. So yeah, I would definitely recommend it. One other thing I'll recommend for you guys, this one it's not like a movie, it's a series, but it's a series of short clips, and it's on YouTube, so it's free for all to watch. It's by a company called SK2 in partnership with the Olympics. It's called the Change Destiny series. Now, it focuses on female Olympians, athletes like Simone Biles. So it's so versus this. So Simone Biles versus this, right? In our own case, because I've watched a couple of episodes, in our own case, it's Simone Biles versus trolls. So, you know, you get to see people that have said, I mean, yeah, there are people that give out good comments, but you know, the hateful comments somehow get to you the most, and they are the ones that you tend to want to respond to, right? When people say stuff like, she doesn't look like a woman, she's too masculine, she's this, she is that. And you know, with the way the story was told, because it goes from their human selves to an animated format of all of these things that they go through, and then it ends with their human self. I really liked the way the story went, the transition. Oh yeah, and we also get to have dope music from it by John Legend. So plus the music and the characters, everything just, you know, blended well together. And that's it for this week's episode of Geek vs Nerd. If there's stuff that you have to say, sound off in the comment section. We're looking forward to it. We love to interact on all forms of social media. And this has been me, your boy Tech, for Geek vs Nerd. Peace.